Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something about men that most people overlook. Men may act strong, they may walk around with confidence, they may put on that tough exterior, but deep down, every man has a soft spot that only the right words can reach. If you want to know how to touch a man's soul, how to make him go crazy for you, you don't need expensive gifts, you don't need to play games, you don't even need to change who you are. What you need is the right way to talk to him. Because the way you speak to a man can either build him up or break him down. Men crave respect and admiration through words more than most people ever realize. You see, a man can work hard, put on a tough face, walk with confidence, and act like he has it all figured out, but deep inside, he still has a need to feel respected and valued. That's the one thing that fuels him. Respect is not just a want for a man, it's oxygen. He breathes it. Without it, he feels small, unseen, and incomplete. And the funny thing is, it's not always the grand gestures that show respect. Most times, it comes through the little things you say, the way you speak to him, the tone in your voice, and the words you choose. If you want a man to go crazy for you, speak into his life with admiration. Tell him you see his effort. Tell him you notice how hard he works. Tell him that the things he does matter. When a man hears admiration from the woman he loves, it's like putting gasoline in a car. He will run faster, stronger, and longer because your words just gave him power. You might think he knows already. You might think he doesn't need to hear it, but let me tell you, he does. A man might not always ask for it, but deep down, he is waiting for that one voice, your voice, to remind him that he's enough. Respect is one of the most powerful love languages for a man. You can cook for him, buy him gifts, give him affection, but if your words strip him down, if your words cut him, he will feel empty no matter what else you give. On the other hand, if you speak life into him, if you admire him with your words, you can turn an ordinary man into an extraordinary one. He will rise to the occasion because you spoke it into him. That's how strong respect and admiration are in a man's world. Think about this. A man may spend his day facing the world, carrying burdens you don't even know about, pushing through pressure and fighting silent battles. Then he comes home, and in that moment, the words you choose can either be a healing balm or another weight on his shoulders. If he hears, "I'm proud of you," or "I love how you always make things happen," it wipes away the stress of the day. But if he hears constant criticism, nagging, or words that make him feel less than, he will start to break down silently. He won't always show it, but inside he will be crumbling. That's why admiration matters so much. It's the antidote to the pressures he carries every single day. Every man wants to be a hero to his woman. He wants to be the one she looks up to, the one she believes in. And when you speak to him in a way that shows respect, he feels like that hero. That's why a simple phrase like "I trust you" has so much power. It's not just a compliment, it's a crown. It says you see him as capable, reliable, and strong. And when a man feels that crown on his head, he will do everything in his power to never let you down. Respect makes him stand taller, push harder, and love deeper. But here's the key. Admiration has to be sincere. It can't be fake or forced. because men can sense that a mile away. He doesn't need empty flattery. He needs genuine recognition. If he fixes something around the house, even if it's small, tell him you appreciate it. If he makes a decision that benefits you both, let him know you respect the way he handled it. If he shares his dreams, don't laugh them off. Say you believe in him. Those little affirmations may seem minor to you, but to him, they're life-changing. So many women underestimate the power of their words. They don't realize that admiration is the fuel that keeps a man going. You don't have to be the loudest, you don't have to be the most glamorous, but if you know how to talk to a man with respect and admiration, you'll hold his heart in a way no one else can. Because at the end of the day, what a man wants most is to feel respected by the woman he loves. And once he gets that, he will give you a love so deep, so consistent, and so crazy that you'll never have to question where you stand in his life. Gentle encouragement fuels a man's confidence in ways that most people overlook. A man can go out into the world every day, put on his armor, and fight through rejection, stress, and disappointment, but even the strongest man has moments of doubt. He might not show it on his face, he might not admit it in words, but inside he needs to be reminded that he is capable, that he is strong, and that someone believes in him. And let me tell you, when that encouragement comes from the woman he loves, it has a power nothing else can match. Men may act tough, but they are deeply sensitive to the way people around them speak. They remember the words that tear them down, but more importantly, they never forget the words that lift them up. A man who is encouraged by his woman can take on challenges he never thought possible. He can step into rooms that intimidate him. He can chase dreams that once felt out of reach, because your encouragement became the wind beneath his wing. Gentle encouragement is not about shouting, not about pressure. It's about speaking in a way that reassures him that he is enough and that he has what it takes. When a man hears words like, "I believe in you," or "I know you can do this," something shifts inside him. His doubts start to shrink. His confidence starts to rise, and his heart begins to beat with a stronger rhythm. He feels seen, supported, and empowered. That's what encouragement does. It takes the weight off his shoulders and replaces it with strength. And it doesn't take a whole speech to encourage a man. Sometimes one short sentence said at the right time can be all it takes to turn his whole day around. Think about a man chasing a dream. Maybe he's starting a new business, going for a promotion, or trying to improve himself. The road gets tough. People may doubt him. He may doubt himself. But if the woman he loves looks him in the eyes and says, "I know you're going to make it," that one line can give him enough fuel to keep going another mile. Encouragement works like oxygen. It keeps his fire burning when everything else is trying to put it out. Now understand this. Encouragement doesn't mean you ignore reality or pretend everything is perfect. It means you speak to his potential instead of his fears. It means you highlight his strengths instead of his weaknesses. If he makes mistakes, you don't have to tear him down. You can say, "I know you'll figure this out," or "I trust you'll find the solution." Those words remind him that failure is not final and that he has someone standing beside him who believes he can rise again. And let me tell you, when a man feels that kind of support, his love for you grows deeper every single day. A man who receives encouragement from his woman becomes a man who wants to give more, do more, and love more. He feels motivated to provide, to protect, to be the best version of himself. Encouragement creates a cycle. Your words build his confidence. His confidence builds his actions. And his actions circle back into building a stronger relationship with you. That's why encouragement is not just about making him feel good in the moment. It's about shaping the kind of man he becomes over time. Here's the truth. Men don't always say it out loud, but they crave encouragement as much as they crave respect. The world can be a cold place, and life can strip away even the boldest man's courage. But when he has a woman who gently reminds him of his worth, who whispers belief into his ear when the world screams doubt, he becomes unstoppable. Your encouragement becomes his secret weapon, the thing no one else can give him in the same way. And when he realizes that you are the voice that always lifts him higher, he will go crazy for you, because in his heart, he knows there's no one else who gives him that kind of power. Appreciation for small efforts makes a man feel valued in ways bigger than most people think. A lot of times people wait for the grand gestures, the big achievements, the life-changing moments to say thank you. But here's the truth. It's not always the big things that build connection. It's the little things that happen every single day. A man may not always express it, but when the woman he loves notices and appreciates even his smallest efforts, it makes him feel like a king. Think about it. A man might open the door for you, bring you a cup of coffee, fix something around the house, or send a quick text just to check on you. To him, those are acts of love. He may not make a speech about it. He may not expect a parade in return, but when you stop for a moment, smile, and say thank you, I appreciate that, you've just touched his heart in a way no one else can. That's because appreciation tells him that his presence and his actions matter. And when a man feels like what he does matters, he will keep doing it. He will keep showing up, he will keep trying, and he will keep giving, because the appreciation he receives fuels his desire to do more. So many relationships break down not because of lack of love, but because of lack of gratitude. A man who works hard, provides, or even just makes small sacrifices every day without ever being acknowledged, will eventually feel invisible. But a man who hears appreciation, even for the tiniest things, feels seen. And once he feels seen, he feels valued. That value is what makes him crazy about you, because deep down, men want to know that the things they do, no matter how small, actually make a difference in your life. It doesn't take much to make a man feel appreciated. Saying, "I love how you always check on me," or "I notice you handled that for us. Thank you," can turn his whole day around. Those words stick with him. He'll be driving to work, sitting at his desk, or even dealing with challenges, but that little compliment you gave will play in his mind like music, reminding him that he's not overlooked. And trust me, that will motivate him to come back and give you even more. When you show appreciation, you're not just rewarding what he did, you're also encouraging what he will do in the future. A man who feels value will naturally want to give more of himself. He will want to step up, take care of you, and pour into the relationship because he knows his efforts don't go unnoticed. Appreciation creates a cycle of love and effort. He gives, you notice, you appreciate, and then he gives more. You appreciate, and then he gives more. That's how strong of a force gratitude can be. Here's another thing. Men may not always put their feelings into words, but they feel everything. That little sigh when he's tired after work, that late night drive to get something you wanted, that moment he chooses to listen instead of doing what he wants, those are small efforts that mean something. And if you recognize them, you're telling him you don't take him for granted. That's powerful. A man who knows he's not being taken for granted will give you loyalty, devotion, and love in ways you never imagined. Too often, people think love is about saying, I love you over and over. Don't get me wrong, those words are important, but appreciation is how you prove love through action. It's how you say, I see you, without needing to repeat it 100 times. It's how you make him feel like his presence in your life is not just expected, it's cherished. And once a man feels cherished, once he knows that the woman he loves notices even the little things, he will go crazy for her. Because for a man, appreciation is not just about being thanked, it's about being valued. And when a man feels valued, his love only grows stronger, deeper, and more unshakable with time. Words that show trust unlock deeper love because trust is the foundation every man needs to feel safe enough to give his heart fully. A man can have money, power, charm, and strength, but if he doesn't feel trusted by the woman he loves, he will never feel completely at home. Trust is that one thing that allows him to relax, to put his guard down, and to open up his soul. And while actions build trust over time, words are the doorway that let a man know you believe in him. When you tell a man you trust him, when you affirm that you believe in his decisions, in his character, in his leadership, you give him something more valuable than anything money can buy. You give him security. And once a man feels secure, he will give you his deepest love. Every man has an inner need to be trusted. He may not say it out loud, but it is there. When the world doubts him, criticizes him, or questions him, the one thing he wants most is to come home and hear his woman say, I trust you. That one sentence can wipe away all the negativity he faced during the day. It tells him he's not alone. It tells him someone believes in his strength. And it tells him he's not fighting the world by himself. That's powerful. And when he feels that trust, he will fight even harder to live up to it. The mistake many people make in relationships is thinking that pointing out flaws or second-guessing every decision shows care. It doesn't. Constant doubt chips away at a man's spirit. But when you replace doubt with trust, when you say, I know you'll figure it out, or I believe in how you handle things, it's like giving him a crown. Those words remind him that he is capable, that you see him as strong, and that he has your support no matter what. A man who feels trusted doesn't just feel loved, he feels honored. And that honor pushes him to rise to the occasion. Trust expressed in words is not about blind obedience or ignoring mistakes. It's about choosing to see his heart and his effort before you see his flaws. It's about believing in his intentions even when the results aren't perfect. If he fails at something, instead of saying, you messed up again, imagine saying, I know you'll get it right next time. I believe in you. That one shift changes everything. Instead of feeling defeated, he feels motivated. Instead of pulling away, he draws closer. Because deep down, every man wants to be the hero in his woman's life. And words of trust make him feel like that hero. Men don't often ask for reassurance, but they need it. They may act tough, but even the toughest man has moments where he questions himself, and in those moments, the right words from you can bring him back to life. Telling him, "I trust your judgment," or "I know you'll take care of this," gives him confidence not just in himself, but also in the bond he shares with you. It creates a partnership built on belief instead of doubt, and that's what makes love last. Think about it this way. Trust is like water to a plant. Without it, the relationship dries up and withers away. With it, love grows deeper, stronger, and more beautiful over time. And words are the way you pour that water. They don't have to be long speeches. They just need to be consistent and sincere. Simple words of trust can turn an ordinary relationship into an extraordinary one. The truth is, men fall in love with women who make them feel capable, respected, and trusted. It's not always about looks. It's not about money. It's not even about what you do. It's about how you make him feel. And when you make a man feel trusted, you unlock a deeper love in him. A love that goes beyond attraction, beyond passion, beyond the surface. It's a love that lasts, a love that grows, and a love that makes him want to give you his all every single day. Speaking with kindness calms a man's spirit and pulls him closer in ways you might not even realize. The world outside is hard on men. Every day they face pressure, expectations, criticism, and challenges that drain them. By the time he comes home, he's carrying weight on his shoulders that no one else sees. And in that moment, the way you talk to him has the power to either heal him or hurt him. Kind words spoken in the right tone can take the stress out of his chest and replace it with peace. That's how powerful kindness is. A lot of people underestimate tone. You can say the same sentence in two different ways, and one will make him feel loved while the other will make him feel attacked. Men may not always explain their emotions, but they feel the sting of harsh words more than you think. When you speak with kindness, when you choose gentleness instead of aggression, it doesn't make you weak. It makes you magnetic, because kindness tells him you're a safe place, and every man longs for that. Think about it. A man can spend all day being told what he did wrong, being criticized by bosses, dealing with problems, or being overlooked. Then he comes home, and if he hears, "I appreciate you," or "I love the way you always show up," it melts his stress away. Your words become his refuge. That's why kindness is not just about being nice. It's about giving him peace in a world that constantly steals it away. And when he feels peace with you, he wants to be around you more. He wants to spend time with you because you calm him in a way no one else can. Now, that doesn't mean you can't be honest or direct. It simply means you deliver honesty with grace. You can tell him what bothers you. You can express your needs, but the way you speak determines whether he feels attacked or understood. Saying you never do anything right will shut him down. But saying, "I know you're capable of more and I believe in you," will inspire him to do better. Same message, completely different impact. That's the power of kindness. It transforms correction into encouragement. Men are drawn to women who bring out their softer side, and the only way that happens is when they feel safe. If your words are always sharp, defensive, or negative, he will start building walls around his heart. But if your words are kind, patient, and uplifting, those walls come down brick by brick. He will share more, open up more, and let you into parts of himself that no one else gets to see. It's not because you forced it, it's because your kindness gave him the courage to be vulnerable. Kindness also has a way of multiplying. When you speak to a man with gentleness, he reflects it back. He becomes softer, more considerate, more loving toward you. Your kindness sets the tone for the relationship. If you speak peace, he will want to give peace. If you speak love, he will want to give love. And soon you'll find that the relationship grows stronger, not through shouting matches or constant arguments, but through kindness that builds harmony day after day. Here's the thing. Anyone can be harsh when they're frustrated. Anyone can lash out when they're tired, but it takes real strength to remain kind. That strength doesn't go unnoticed. Men remember the moments when you could have cut them down, but instead you lifted them up. They remember the words that healed them when they were broken. They remember the tone that comforted them when they felt small. And those memories keep pulling them closer, because men don't just fall in love with beauty, they fall in love with peace. When you speak with kindness, you give a man something rare. You give him a reason to keep coming back, a reason to stay loyal, and a reason to trust you with his heart. Your voice becomes the place he runs to when the world gets heavy. And once a man experiences that kind of peace from you, he will hold on to you with everything he's got, because deep down he knows that no one else makes his spirit feel that calm. A supportive tone inspires a man to give more than you expect, because the way you speak to him determines the way he responds to you. Men are wired to provide, to protect, and to love, but their energy to do those things is fueled by the atmosphere they receive from the woman they care about. When you speak with a supportive tone, when your words sound like encouragement instead of criticism, something powerful happens inside of him. He feels motivated, he feels respected, he feels like he can do anything, and when a man feels that way, he will pour back into you more than you ever imagined. It doesn't matter if it's a big dream or a small effort. When you stand by him with supportive words, you're telling him that you're not just present, you're invested. If he's working on something challenging and you say, "I know you've got this," he doesn't just hear encouragement, he hears partnership. That partnership makes him want to keep going, not just for himself, but for you too. Support makes a man want to go the extra mile, because deep down, he doesn't just want to succeed, he wants to succeed for the woman who believes in him. Too often, people think support only comes in the form of big sacrifices or grand gestures. But the truth is, it's usually in the tone of everyday conversations. If you laugh at his ideas or dismiss his efforts, he will start to doubt himself and hold back. But if you listen with interest, respond with kindness, and remind him of his strengths, he'll be inspired to push harder and aim higher. Your tone has the ability to shrink his confidence or expand it. And when you choose a supportive tone, you give him wings. Think about the man who has a vision but doesn't know how it will work. The world might tell him it's impossible. He might even second guess himself. But if the woman by his side says, "I believe in you, I know you'll make it happen," that statement alone can silence every doubt in his mind. It gives him the courage to keep moving forward. And when he finally achieves it, he won't just feel proud of himself, he'll feel grateful to you, because he'll know your support made all the difference. Support doesn't mean you ignore reality or pretend everything is perfect. It means you deliver truth with love, and you remind him that even when things get tough, you're standing with him, not against him. That's what fuels his devotion. A man who feels supported will not only meet your expectations, he'll exceed them, because his natural instinct is to give back more to the woman who lifts him up. He'll give more effort, more attention, more